Welcome into Provo, Utah, where we have BYU men's lacrosse. What a beautiful afternoon this Thursday afternoon at Provo High School. We've got a great backdrop of the Wasatch Mountains. Finally, here in Utah, we've got some snow, so we've got a beautiful backdrop for the entire game. Thank you for joining us here on our live stream here on KSLSports.com. I'm Brad Searle, pleased to be joined on the call as well, Tim Haslam. And Tim, we've got a great game in store for us. We've got the number 2 ranked going up against the number 13th ranked Texas Longhorn. And these Cougars, they're coming in 2-0, off to a hot start. What's your thoughts of the Cougars?
Yeah, coming into this game, a win over ASU 15-11, and then they beat Grand Canyon 24-11. So obviously the offense was ticking there, defense was looking strong. Excited to see how this one plays out.
And we're underway. We have Carson Benyon facing off, and right at the get-go, the Longhorns put a pole out there. That's number 27, Jacob Fragan.
Yep, coming into the game, they had a couple guys taking a bunch of different face-offs. Texas coming in this game 1-1, having beat Baylor and lost to Boston College in double overtime.
Yeah, that probably was a heartbreaker, but as you know, sometimes those tough games, they play out well when it gets towards the end of the season.
Absolutely, definitely will be battle-tested. You know, they actually played against TCU, but it was postponed in the third quarter because of rain. So technically they've got 2.5 games under the belt.
As the Cougars set up on offense, oh, great cut on the inside, and that's our first goal of the game. That's number 32, Hutton Murphy out of Olympus High School.
Just a great little feed there. From to Murphy, who just streaking down the middle of the field, able to slot one past, kind of caught the defense sleeping there.
Boy, and that's right to par for these Cougars. First 2 games, they have come out strong in that first quarter action. We're back to the face-off. Cougars will run a couple of face-off guys today. Have both the Benyons, and once again, that's Carson. As he gathers that ball, nice scrum out there in the middle of the field. Texas picks up, retains possession. We want to just take a minute. We had a moment of silence before the game. One of Texas Longhorns players tragically passed away yesterday in an automobile accident. We want to recognize and honor Sarp Akmish. He was only 19 years old. Our hearts and thoughts go out to the Texas Longhorns and to that young man's family. Ball shot, and fortunate or unfortunate hit an official.
Cole Sloan down there getting in the way of the ball as the official. Sloan played a judge back in the early 2000s. Moved to Arizona for a bit for pharmacy school, then is now back. One of the good, better officials in the ranks these days.
Boy, and that's number 57. I don't have a 57 on the roster. That means some young man forgot their jersey, and they had to pull one out of the old tub. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. A lot, not to blame, though, as a lot going on the mind of these Texas Longhorns this game.
And we'll see if we can't get that name for number 57 out there as Texas back on possession. For the BYU Cougars, it's Taylor Crump, Jack Wall, and J.P. Jones starting for the Cougars. Into the cage for the Cougars is Easton Wilkie? Wilkie.
Yep.
Comes get it from, right.
It comes from a long line of goalies from Timpanogos High School. I think he's the 3rd or 4th to come out of Timpanogos.
Boy, and he's been a steady presence in that cage for the Cougars. Wilkie, just a junior.
Yep, 18 saves versus Arizona State, 6 against Grand Canyon before letting someone else get between the pipes.
Boy, great, nice defensive play by J.P. Jones, and here comes the Cougars pushing quick in transition. We're going to have a call, quick call. It's going to be didn't reset the shot clock. So that'll tick down a few and we'll get underway. One of the key players, Tim, for the BYU Cougars is number 23, Mason Quick.
Yep, Quick out of Corner Canyon High School, played last year up at the University of Utah before transferring to BYU. Had a school record 10 goals against Grand Canyon, which is impressive considering all of the different Cougars who have come before him. To have 10 goals in a game is pretty incredible.
Nice shot, nice save by the Texas goalie. That's Keen Levine.
Cougar ball behind.
Keen Levine, also a junior, going 5'7". BYU back in possession. It's Mason Quick going to the invert. He dodges up here. Nice little feed. Oh, beautiful feed. That's number 8, Gavin Taylor.
Goal, number 8, Gavin Taylor. Assist number 23, Mason Quick.
And yeah, you'll see here on the replay, Quick just starts from behind, kind of jogs here, and then puts it into high gear, draws the slide, which leaves the man wide open on the crease for the dunk.
Yeah,
great play.
Great lacrosse IQ from Mason Quick to find that easy answer, and we'll see that a lot tonight. A lot of BYU's goals in the first 2 games, they've seemed to come pretty easy for these Cougars. A lot of outside shots, but boy, when they can get that layup, they're scoring almost automatically.
Yeah, just like basketball, that's more or less a dunk. It's a very, very high percentage shot. The goalie has his back turned to the shooter because he's watching the guy with the ball, and then all of a sudden it's just right behind him, and it's nearly impossible to save.
Oh, nice face dodge. Oh, nice defense. That's number 44, Sawyer Beck. Cougars push quick in transition. Barker pushes it over into the middle. Bingo. Top left corner. That's number 3, Dylan Johnson, getting on the board.
Yep, you'll see the Cougars just push in transition here. Wide open in the middle of the field. Puts it top left. Great goal there in transition for BYU.
For Johnson, that was a beautiful, really textbook dodge. He got down towards the cage, but he never dropped his hands. He protected his stick the whole time and just punched it in for another goal for the Cougars.
And Johnson's going to love that goal. He's one of the D-middies for the Cougars. Always fun when your D-middies get in transition and then get goals.
Kano off the wing play. Takes it down. Allows BYU to play the sub game. It's Easton Carter pushes it over to Quick. Cojicano takes a dodge here from the wing. Push that rock over to the right side. That shot's number 16, Stu Vasa.
Shot number 16, Stu Vasa, Cougar ball.
Taylor dodges. Oh, nice defensive poke. Turnover. Here comes the Longhorns. It's number 18, Owen Thomas. It's great pressure from the Cougars, but they earn possession for another offensive opportunity.
Yeah, and at this level, you can't be complacent. Up 3 goals early, still got to protect that stick as you're being guarded.
Starting up on the top. Defense, BYU's defense, playing a man-to-man with a little slough on the adjacent. It's Carvajal pushing back up. Nico Triant pushes over to Xander Rosen. He pushes it down below X. Boy, great offense. Great save. Cougars.
That's a great offensive look there for Texas. That's what they need. Quick ball movement, able to get their hands free, get a great shot. Just, a little better placement next time, and that finds the back of the net.
The ball's back in. Below the goal line extended. Pushes that ball up to J.D. Clifford. Another transfer over to the BYU program. Friedman pushes down to Quick. Looks right back up. Taylor spins. Oh, little toe drag. Lost the dog. Longhorns pick it up, and here they come. Love this overhead pass by the Longhorns. Unable to corral that. I think that's a good no call. Thought maybe that was a push. Nice pickup for number 25, Andrew Hunt, the sophomore out of Park City, Utah. Quickly turned over. Texas back on offense. That's Jason O. Pushing the ball down. Our phantom number 57. Pushes it on over to Jason O. O dodges down the right, pushes it down below GLE. That's Breck Thielen. Dodges, gets top side. Great look, great opportunity for the Longhorns on that possession. But Tim, no backup on that.
No backup. That's a coach's nightmare, right? Louis will definitely look at the tape on that one and call that one out.
We've got 6:18 remaining here in first quarter action. Once again, thank you for joining us here on the KSL Sports Rewind. Brad Searle alongside Tim Haslam. Cougars jump up early 3-0. Gets this ball up to Friedman. As they set. Charlie, a local product here. First time calling out Cade Kirshner's name. Taylor dodges up on the left side. Great defense, great stop. Just a little too hot on that pass, and that'll be another turnover for the Cougars. And Tim, you expect these turnovers early in the season.
Yeah, it's their third game, but still early in the season. Still in the month of February. Got a long ways to go. I think from BYU there, I'd like to see them working into their offense the way that they scored their first goals. Right, it's ball movement, it's getting guys moving. And then obviously transition.
Here comes the Cougars off a great play by Friedman. Little twister shot off the mark. Cougars with the backup as they bring on their offensive unit. Lee Stu Vossow coming on with Friedman. Got a little stoppage in play. Officials want to talk this over. 4:43. Looks like they're just getting a little reset on the shot clock. Ball comes up here to Stu. Pushes over. Cougars dodging down the right alley. Push to X. Back out Mason Quick. And this is where he was so lethal those two first games. He's got a great 12 to 15 yard outside shot. Great dodge by Clifford. Oh, nice handles. Tough angle shot. Dodging down the right side. He's a righty. Kind of cuts off that angle for Charlie.
Cougars back up.
And I think to my point, I think that, if the Cougars can get some ball movement, start dodging drawing some slides, that they can definitely get easier looks.
Yeah, and that's going to be our first penalty on the night. That's going to be number 27, J.P. Jones. He flicked that ball at the end of the play. It's going to be a delay of game on the Cougars, and we'll see the first opportunity for the extra man unit for the Texas Longhorns.
Yep, Coach Schneck arguing that, the whistle hadn't been blown yet. He was just trying to knock it back over. Tricky call, but probably the right one.
It was the right one, yeah. Tricky call, but Schneck, he's just working the officials to get that call later in the game, right?
That's how it works these days, for sure.
So it would be just a 30-second technical foul.
Jones, a familiar name. He's from Washington, but played at Park City High School during 2021 because Washington didn't have lacrosse, and so he transferred down and played for Park City that 1 year.
As the Longhorns start up on their extra man unit, looks like the Cougars are in a house set as they turn that ball over. And as a coach, boy, that's so frustrating to lose possession on a man-up opportunity.
Yep, just got to keep those feet moving, right? Holmes came out, pressured him a little bit, was able to get that stick in there. They weren't expecting it, and they, promptly turned it over.
Hunt with a nice help on the clear, quick for an outside shot. Boy, he can sling that rock. First one for Mason Quick.
Yeah, and you'll see here on the replay, ball's coming down that right side. Quick just creates space with the goalie who was out of the crease, and then that's a textbook time and room shot. I'm a time and room guy. Are you time and room or time and space?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Doesn't matter.
Because I think they both work at the right time, right?
That's right.
And, boy, you're going to have to get a stick on Mason Quick. You got to know where that cat is all the time out there on that field as the Cougars push this lead 4-0.
Yep, Quick just doing a good job of knowing he had the goalie on him and extending upfield, knowing that the goalie wouldn't probably follow him too far.
That's Chase Benyon on the face-off. Won the face-off, but great defense. That's number 29, Jack Farrell, for the Longhorns with a great defensive play. Just under 3 minutes to play here, first quarter action. They like starting off with that two-man game up here in the corner. Just looking for that skip pass. Oh, a little off communication there. That's number 33, Breck Thielen. He pushes up, had a great shot. He got top side. That's number 33, Breck Thielen.
Yeah, and you'll see here on the replay, just scoops it up behind X and then just goes full speed, beats his man, gets his hands free. Nice shot.
Boy, that wasn't bad defense by Hunter Holmes, just a better shot for Thielen. And the Longhorns get on the board.
Yep, great play there by Thielen. That's what they need here to get back, bringing this one back close.
Looks like John Wallace out there for the Longhorns with Benyon facing off. Nice scoop up here over here on the wing by Walter Fiegel. Taylor collects. As he's pressured, he pushes this up. And here runs the Cougars. Stu Vassau pushes it down over here into the corner. That's Easton Carter. Boy, with these Cougars, it's real interesting to watch their offense. Boy, you wouldn't know if they were on offense or on attack or midfield. They really play the mindset of just 6 offensive players out there. Beautiful feed, beautiful finish. That's Gavin Taylor, his second on the night.
Yeah, and to your point, as we see here in the replay, positionless lacrosse. Every player is a threat. Kirshner just able to find Taylor there on the doorstep as Texas unable to account for him and just slots it home.
Beautiful execution on the offense for the BYU Cougars.
I've got some intel.
Let's hear it.
From a listener in Texas, Mike Brand, longtime MCLA coach, opinionator, whatever you want to call it. Number 57 is Jack Egan.
Oh, that's why we haven't called Jack Eigen all night long.
Yep.
That makes sense. One of their main stars out here for the Texas Longhorn. No judgment. Jack on the uniform.
No
love
judgment.
to hear the story, though.
Yep.
Always love to hear those stories.
Shout out to Coach Brand. He's actually an assistant for Texas. Couldn't make the trip because of a day job. I think we've all been there before.
We have been there, and thank you for that intel. This is Nico Triant up here off the top. He cuts over to the left side. Great defense, and great shot.
Yeah.
That's number 5, Nico Triant.
Yep, just a great effort here. Dodges from the top, able to get past his man. Again, get his hands free. No slide coming from BYU. And just, bouncers will go. So they say.
Boy, and that was beautiful placement. Bottom left corner. Tough for either a righty or a lefty goalie to get that.
That's both goals for Texas, Brad. Coming off of guys beating their man and no slide from BYU. So might want to, maybe we'll see an adjustment there.
Let's see if they make that adjustment. We've got 1:11 here in the first quarter as we have come up to a shot clock malfunction. The Cougar goalie Wilkie, boy, he's 6'4". He covers a lot of space, but for those low shots, he's got to get down low and he's got to get down quick.
He does, and maybe that's the scout from Coach Louie there. Shoot low. Anytime you're shooting a lacrosse ball, I say bounce it, but it's hard to do that. Easier said than done, for sure.
And this is Cam Turner, Luke Fournier for the Longhorns out to face off.
BYU has 3 sophomore face-off guys that they rotate, including the Benyon brothers and Turner.
Boy, and as a coach, that's just like a blessing in disguise. Having that much depth, it's such a crucial position. Great spacing, beautiful shot, number 26, Curran Rose for his first.
Texas scrappy on these ground balls, especially on the face-off. Great play here, though. Finds the open man. And then Wilkie, you'd like to see cover that pipe a little more. Great placement there.
Boy, beautiful placement by Rose.
Texas goal number 26, Curran Rose. Rose with the goal.
Apologize, I missed a goal. That's 5-3 for the Cougars.
It's early season for the players, early season for the refs, early season for the commentators.
Thank you. And we have our excuse. 45.
No excuses, just early season.
45 seconds remaining here, first quarter action. Looks like we're going to be playing with a silent shot clock until they can get that back up and going. Ball over here to the near side. That's Jake Boatwright. So I would imagine they're going to play for the last shot of the quarter. Gets it up to 39, Xander Rosen. Push this ball. This is Eigen. Eigen, 6'3", senior. Beautiful shot, just like that. Texas is back in this contest.
Yep, again, we see Texas just running around the field, doing pretty much whatever they want. This time the slide does come. A little bit of confusion and just a nice play and nice shot there by Eigen.
Yeah, and it was interesting. They slid actually two D-pulls to that, and he just did what you're taught to do. Just keep getting more top side, which just helps improve that angle on the shot. Great finish.
Eigen coming in this game, 9 goals, 1 assist. Had 7 goals against Boston College.
Boy, and the D-pull, number 27, Jacob Fragan. With that win, and Longhorns, they don't waste any time. That's going to be a push. I thought the first one might have been a push with possession. Glad the officials allowed that to play on. Again, I'll bet we're short in the shot clock here.
End of the first quarter.
End of the first quarter. Let's say the officially. And that's it. And that'll do it. First quarter action here at Provo, Utah. BYU Cougars up 5-4 over the Texas Longhorns. School. We had BYU men's lacrosse here on the KSL Sports Rewind. Great first quarter. It was a quick start for BYU. They jumped out early. Boy, it was the Longhorns that clawed back into this game. And these are two programs, Tim, that are really well established. BYU, founded in 1968, Texas 1973. They've been around a long time, and both of them have some great head coaches.
Yeah, for BYU, Matt Schneck, 17th year as the head coach. He's been a part of every single national championship that BYU's won, either as a player or a coach. Came to BYU to play football, and then ended up, he played football and lacrosse. Yeah, pretty cool. And then for Texas, Louis coaches in the PLL.
For the Water Dogs, right?
Water Dogs coach, yeah. Has also coached at Boston College, played at Grand Canyon.
Where he had a national championship, I believe, in 2015,
That's
right?
Yep.
Saw that.
He was LSM for the Lopes. And, just two great coaches, great programs like you're saying. Texas has their own lacrosse stadium on the campus of UT.
Oh,
it's pretty
how
cool.
would that be?
Yeah, when I was working with the University of Utah, we went down there in 2000, let's see, what would that have been, 17, 18? And it's this cool little field, turf field. Got some stands. It's really cool. It actually sits in the shadows of their football stadium, so just an awesome place to play
Let's
lacrosse.
get a game book down there.
Let's do it.
Longhorns retain possession. This is number 39, Xander Rosen, dodging up the left side. Finds an open Curran Rose. He shoots that ball to the near side, backed up by the Longhorns. And Nico Triant dodging, comes up, hesitates, comes around that corner. Great defense there by number 3, Dylan Johnson. Short stick meaty for the Cougars. Eigen, near side, playing that two-man game here in the corner. Gets top side, and we've got another official. And, unfortunately, that's going to be a crease violation. I believe that on Cisco Carvajal. But just like that, the Texas Longhorns got it and then turned it right back over. Cougar ball. Carter pushes up, dodges down, sets up. So they get their midfield line out there, pushes down here off to the left side. That's Mason Quick down to Gavin Taylor. Boy, these Cougars, they've got offense coming from everywhere on that field.
And it's exciting to see. It's fun. Like you were saying in the first quarter, positionless lacrosse, right? You don't know if they're attack. You don't know if they're midi. In fact, prepping for the game, I was looking at going, man, I don't know what these guys are. But, yeah, it's exciting to see. Every one of these guys can score. It's super fun to watch them when they're in their element.
Great little save by Keen Levine. Nice physical fight down there. And we've got a Texas Longhorn not able to get up. Looks like he's going to shake that off. Good to see that. That's number 18, Owen Thomas, the freshman. Love to see freshmen. As a coach, right, I love when I'm able to call freshmen in any sport, because what that tells me is that, boy, you've got a program that's going to be really good, consistent for at least 3 more years.
Absolutely. It's great to see. You kind of want an inverted pyramid, right? You want a lot of seniors, a little bit more juniors, a little bit more sophomores, and then, 1 or 2 freshmen, and then that helps your program build.
Now, and Levine turns that ball quickly over with the errant pass. Cougar will retain possession here at midfield.
Texas Cougar ball.
Murphy over to Stu Vasau. So he pushes down the left side. Love the offense that they push that ball through X, which forces that defense to have to turn around and really play both sides of the field.
Yep, gets their head spinning a little bit as they try to follow the ball wherever it's going.
Quickly over to Cade. Murphy, lefty shot, beautiful placement. Murphy with his second of the game.
BYU goal number 32, Hutton Murphy.
You'll see here on the replay, just great ball movement by the Cougars, able to work it through X. Murphy with the little hitch. Nice little swim move, switching to his left, able to find space and slotting it home.
Yeah, the Cougars playing that little two-man game up on the wings, which allows to create a little bit more open field for those Dodgers to be creative in their dodging. Back at the face-off, we've got Chase Benyon. As the Cougars possess, pushes that ball quickly. It's Koji Kano, the junior midfielder out of Highland, Utah, went to Lone Peak High School. When you look at this Cougar roster, Tim, boy, they got players, a lot of local players, but boy, they got players from all over the country.
Yeah, and that's been one of their staples for years, right? It's grabbing LDS kids from all over the country coming to BYU, but then also attracting top-notch home talent. You know, tons of great players have played for BYU over the years from Utah, and they continue to do that. And I think that's part of their success.
That was a quick shot from Mason Quick, righty that just scooted just left of the cage. Taylor brings it in for Max, brings it up the left side, over to Quick. Which is interesting, the first two games we saw Quick on the opposite side of the field where he got a lot of his shots. Clifford in a little bit of trouble, right into the stick. That's number 10, Nathan Blue. So Longhorns look to clear the ball.
The thing is, Brad, BYU doesn't need to do that, right? If they can just continue with their ball movement, work it around, they'll get their looks. They don't need to go power through three guys.
That's going to be, they're counting, that's going to be offsides on Taylor. He's counting as well. Nice little bounce shot. That's number 26, Curran Rose, his second of the contest.
A little bit of chaos at the midfield as the refs were counting the players. BYU upset. Texas takes advantage. Pushes the ball in transition. Just a nice little fast break play, textbook. Great goal.
Thought maybe caught some of the Cougars off guard as they were trying to look whether see if they were offsides. It just didn't have enough guys back, which forced that slide too early. Great score by Rose. 6-5 for the Cougars. Here comes Benyon. Bottom right corner. Chase Benyon out of Olympus High School.
You gotta love these. Just win the face-off. You know, you tell your fifth grade kids, just go until someone stops you, and no one stops them. Great goal.
Says, Coach, I got this for you.
Those are the ultimate juice goals, right? When your face-off guy can get a goal, that really brings a lot of momentum to your team.
That pushes the Cougars up by 2. Benyon back at the face-off. Faced up against Fragan. So they scrap for that ball. Nice pickup by Benyon. Boy, and that depth, as I look ahead at the Cougars' schedule, having that depth at that face-off is going to pay dividends when they get down into tournament time. Just like that, Easton Carter for the Cougars.
A little bit of a chaotic play here, slow break. BYU just heads to the cage, realizes he doesn't have an angle, quickly finds Carter, who dunks it home.
Yeah, Kano. Boy, he had a couple of guys in there. He had a long pole and a shorty. Come on, short stick. Give it up to the long pole. They don't get too many of those opportunities.
That's right.
10:23 here, remaining in the second quarter action. It's John Wallace out there facing off against Cam Turner. Boy, we're going to have, believe a hold call. Yeah, and that's going to be Texas possession.
This is an important possession for Texas. Do they need to score? Not necessarily, but they need to have some sustained possession, right? Able to get into their offensive set. Show BYU what, give their defense a break. And, hopefully get a goal out of it.
It's number 39, Xander Rosen. Pushes out here to Eigen.
BYU in his zone.
I like that mix-up. Love going, man-to-man. Love changing up the adjacent slide. But, man, a zone just brings a whole different aspect of defense, which forces that offense to have to find those seams.
That's right.
And they have to be shooters.
Yep, and they were there, just went over the pipe, and BYU with the wily backup. Smart play.
Boy, and it helps, too, when you put into zone of having that solid goalie, 6'4",
For
back
sure.
there to help back that up. Makes those long shots seem maybe not so long.
That's right.
Quick off here to the near side. See, slowly takes this. Little razor dodge comes up around X. Great defense by the Longhorns. Pushes it out. Here's Wasow. Love the patience for the Cougars. Oh, great cut by Cade. Just unable to find that. That's a mom's goal there. Oh, we got a little pushing and shoving down there. That foul's going to be on number 20. That's Jackson Bishop, the senior defender from Palo Alto, California. Going to come do a little time in the sin bin.
Little extracurricular activity after the shot there.
If I had to guess, it's just my opinion, I think Mason Quick, just because of the talent that he has, he's going to see that physicality all season long.
Texas penalty number 20.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the only way to shut him down. He's very fast. I mean, look, when he played at Corner Canyon, by far the best player on the field, any game he played, right? And they played some really good teams that year. Goes on an LDS mission, comes back, plays a year at Utah. I was up there that whole time. Very good, right? Opted to transfer to BYU, and is just a threat. He's an animal, and he just keeps getting bigger. Hadn't seen him a little bit. Saw him on the sidelines this morning, just going, wow, you're huge.
Beautiful no-look pass by Easton Carter. Watch this one.
Number 41, goal number 41, Kate.
Great little tic-tac-toe play here as the Cougars work it around on this man-up opportunity. Just a nice little backdoor cut. Wow, textbook man-up play there. Great goal.
Kirshner for his first goal of the contest.
Kirshner out of Canterbury School in Florida. I believe his dad is the dean there. His brother Alex played for BYU as well.
Back to face off. Once again, that's Cam Turner. Right out of Provo, Utah. Oh, that's going to be a quick turnover. That's going to be Longhorn possession. Oh, it's Nico Triant tippy-toeing the line up the field. Clears that ball for the Longhorns. It looks like we're going to have a timeout, Longhorns. We'll step aside as well. Cougars up 9-5 here in Provo, Utah.
Timeout.
Welcome back into Provo, Utah, home of the BYU men's lacrosse program. So we see a beautiful shot of the Wasatch Mountains we mentioned before. We got our first dusting of snow, much needed snow here in the West. It's been really a atypical winter. And for lacrosse, you love it and you hate it because as a coach, you think, when's it coming?
Right. How many games am I going to have to postpone? I can have all these practices in January, but I'm going to have to postpone games in March. Hopefully none, though.
Carvajal pushes that ball through X. Looking to try to get that ball up to Eigen. Skip pass. This is Jason O. Dodges down the left side, pushes it down. It's number 53, Cisco Carvajal again as he dodges up that left side. Comes around. Oh, he had a wide open Xander Rosen just missed him, threw it over his head, and that's going to be a turnover for the Longhorns. As you mentioned, Tim, that's a much-needed score opportunity. Oh, beautiful finish. Mason Quick. Tic-tac-toe.
Yep, you see Quick here just starting with the ball off the inbound. Wise to get that quickly and then just uses his speed like we've talked about. He's so fast, so physical. Just slides it right in that top left corner.
Ah, beautiful. Sometimes they just make it look too easy.
For sure. Lots of practice, though, went into that shot. I can assure you that.
As we face off, we've got Jacob Fragan. Looks like that's Cam Turner going up again. It's the Longhorns win the face-off. Oh, nice knockdown. Nice ride. Boy, you love when your attackmen ride that hard. Longhorns regain possession. They look clear the ball. He's got a guy clear up on the Boston side. Goes right to him. Easy clear for the Longhorns.
Yep, and again, we need to see some sustained possession here by the Longhorns. Get a good shot, and hopefully get a goal.
Eigen dodges top side. Little one-hand, kind of a creative, unusual shot being 12, 15 yards out.
Yep, Eigen leading scorer coming into this one, trying to take this into his own hands. Definitely trying to show some of that leadership. Again, though, I'd like to see a little bit more sustained possession. No need to panic. Lots of game left.
Nice little bouncer. Nice stop for the Cougars. Coach was screaming for backup, and the Longhorns barely win that inline race. Carvajal here on the near wing. Eigen. It's got a shorty. Boy, I'd get it right back to him. He's got a size advantage. Oh, beautiful. Wow. That's an old school bouncer there for Eigen. His second goal of the contest.
You'll see here, gets his hands free out on that wing. A little back and forth play. That is a deep shot.
That is a 15-yard bomb.
Just puts his whole soul into it. Great placement, too. Great bounce shot. Those are nearly impossible to stop.
Eigen, the senior, 6'3" out of Westport. He's having a great contest here. The first half, 6:09 remaining here in the second quarter. Back to the face-off. Cougars once again retain that possession. We're going to have a quick timeout here by the Cougars. 6:02 remaining here in the second quarter. Cougars up by 4. Again, here on the KSL Sports Rewind. Brad Searle along the side with Tim Haslam. Tim, 6:02. You mentioned a couple times, right? These Longhorns, they just do not want to get that lead too much to where they can't overcome.
Right. Their goal, should be these next 6 minutes. Can we go like 2-1, right? Can we score 2, maybe let up 1? Because the further this gets from them, especially early on, the harder it'll be to come back. But, they go in down 3-4 goals, start having some fortune at the face-off X, and anything could happen.
Here comes Freeman on the dodge. He cuts down the right side, looking to push to X. Great defense. That's by number 10, Nathan Blue. Mason Quick, kind of an errant pass. Great defense by Madani.
And if you're BYU, there's just no need for that, right? Just make the next pass, make it simple, beat them with your legs.
Levine clears this ball up onto the far side. He's going to have to go over. Should be able to walk it right up. Nice little pass there to Xander Rosen. He pushes that ball up. Great defense by Isaac Anderson, the junior out of Fayetteville, Georgia, for the Cougars. Jason O. Took a little too long, a little longer BYU to get into that sub game, but great turnover. Boy, and this is what Longhorns like. They like playing in that little chaotic scenarios.
They do seem to thrive off it.
So kind of pull that ball up and reset up over here on the near side. Looks like Jack Wall has the assignment on Eigen tonight. Great little inside pass. Oh, just couldn't hang on it. That's going to be a push on the Cougars. Longhorn to retain possession. Dylan Johnson playing short stick midi for the Cougars has had a great first half. Had a goal in the first quarter. Was that ball hits Johnson. He probably didn't like that, especially on a cold day.
Never fun. Never fun to get hit with the ball.
We're probably 43, 44, 45 today at max.
Yep. Sun is not just peeking barely over the clouds. Yeah, it's probably 35, 40 degrees down there.
Boy, they're allowing the Longhorns, the Cougars are, to kind of make those outside shots.
Yeah, and to your point, you've got Wilkie behind you. It's one of those things. Hey, we're going to keep doing this, letting you have these shots until you prove otherwise. Texas 6-on-6 shots have come off really great placed bounce shots, right? And it's tough to shoot, 10, 15 goals that way. And so that's BYU's strategy here. Let them keep shooting those shots. If they happen to get one every so often, so be it.
Yeah, Wilkie's great first half. Oh, as they try to force that ball. Once again, trying to force that ball into Miller. That's the junior Dallin Johnson at a Skyview High School. But to your point, there was no need to force that. Plenty of time on the shot clock.
Yep, I think I'd like to see just BYU working it around, doing what's brought them success so far, getting the Texas Longhorns to get their head spinning a little bit, and then just beat them with their speed and with great ball movement.
Boy, that was just an unbelievable pass from Levine, probably 55 yards right on the money as the Longhorns clear. Oh, they looked like they had a little give and go. Missed it. That was number 11, Jason O. Over here onto the wing, Eigen. Swaps to the right hand, gets deflected by a defender. Easy pickup for Wilkie. Here comes the Cougar near side.
Crump with a great job there, just putting his stick in the lane, hoping to deflect anything, and it did. Then, assisting on the nice clear.
Little juke move as we get a little juice motivation on the Cougars from Stu Vasau. Graduate from Mercer Island out of Washington. Murphy, no look pass. Over to Stu. Might not have been looking for that ball as well. Closely guarding him is Jack Tennant. Push that ball down. Run it through X. Here comes the Cougars. Left side. Slide comes quickly. Great defense there by Owen Thomas, the freshman. Not a bad shot from Taylor. Got a broken stick, so they're going to have a man advantage here if they can go quick. They go right out here to Stu, and he cannot handle that ball. Haslam, frustrating for a coach.
Great pickup there by Bishop, able to just kind of hockey stick it past him and scooping that up. Yeah, BYU trying too hard to go too fast, and just caught him that time.
Britton Barker in for the Cougars, playing short stick midi. They've got quick trapped over offense, and we've got a timeout on the field. 1:16 remaining. Second quarter actions. Cougars up 10-6. Back into Provo High School. We've got the number 2 BYU men's lacrosse going up against the number 13 Texas Longhorns. Cougars up by 4. It'll be Texas possession here on the near side with Eigen. See what Coach Louis drew up in the timeout. They're going to play a high two-man game. Kind of a big little, but up on the top side instead of below GLE. They push that through X. Back up wide open. Oh, a great opportunity. Nico wants that shot back.
Great ball movement there by Texas. Ref blew his whistle a little prematurely there.
Isaac Anderson just Play the whistle. We play on here on the near side. Eigen, two-man game, cuts up. Great defense by Jack Wall, the sophomore out of Olympus High School. Deep shot, looking for another bouncer. Great save.
That's a little too far out, to be honest with you.
Oh, another unforced turnover, right? Good and bad, right? For the Cougars, right? Early in the season, they'll have an opportunity to go back and review this, and they're going to be able to clean up a lot of just these unforced turnovers that are kind of uncharacteristic for this BYU team. Nice clear by Texas. As we're going to have another, I believe, offsides. We got too many men on the Texas side. We've got a dead ball. Did you see that, Tim, why they called that?
2 flags down typically will result in a dead ball, but it's for the same thing. So I don't know that the officials knew that it was the same thing.
One was calling offside, the other calling too many men.
Yep, and then the game clock ran out without a buzzer. So I think that was also playing into it.
That's first half action here at Provo High School. It's been a quick. BYU got out early. Boy, it was Texas that clawed back. They kind of went in spurts that first half. We'll step aside for 10 minutes here at Provo High School. Be back for second half action. Cougars up by 4. As the Cougars 4-point lead over the Texas Longhorns, and boy, it was a good first half, 10 points, not uncommon from the BYU Cougars. I have 6 players. Cougars doing it by committee the first half. Tim, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's what you like to see. You like to see the scoring spread out. It shows, that you have a balanced offense. Defensively, got to love where you're at, just giving up 6 goals. And some of those on really nice shots that Wilkie didn't really have a chance at. And so you got to be pleased if you're Coach Neck.
As the Longhorns start up in an extra man opportunity from that too many men or offsides. Oh, right in the back of the helmet. They're going to have to blow this whistle dead. That was a wicked shot. Longhorns retain possession.
Isaac Anderson.
Is that Isaac Anderson?
Yeah.
Boy, he took a point-blank shot to the back of the helmet. He went down quick. Boy, very concerned staff on the sideline for the BYU Cougars. But a great opportunity as they're looking over our Cougar injured player, right? A great opportunity for the Longhorns to come out down 4. They've got a extra man opportunity, Tim. You know that coach is drawing up something. I'd love to see them run really kind of a set play here.
I think that was it, and I think they got a good look. Anderson just fortunate enough to get, not unfortunate enough, I guess you could say, to get in the lane there using his head as the stopper there. I think we're back to full strength as I do see 6 Cougars on the field. But, yeah, good opportunity from Texas. Maybe take a step upfield and get maybe a little better shot, but overall good opportunity.
Rosen will start with the ball here near side. Takes this ball down into the corner. A lot of teams like running a razor dodge or a razor pick. He's going to draw through the crease, come up. Nice move. That's over to Eigen. See if they can get Eigen involved. He's had a couple great outside shots and a couple of shots that maybe weren't so great. Great defense by the Cougars, but Texas still with possession, 30 seconds on the shot clock.
Noticed a goalie change for BYU. Isaac Hansen, the freshman from Brighton High School.
I know this guy personally, and that's going to be a hold on the Cougars. Isaac Hansen is awesome, and what a great backup for the Cougars to have. We talked about that depth early as he stops it and makes his first save here in tonight's contest. was committed and transferred back here to BYU, served an LDS mission. Great to see Hansen out there. He played a little bit in the first 2 games down there in Arizona. Boy, but he can be, unfortunately, known too well that he can be a brick wall.
Absolutely. Had a great career at Brighton High School.
I want to say he was a 3-year starter
Yeah.
for the Bengals. Another opportunity for Texas. Nice shot, nice placement, beautiful finish. That's number 26, Curran Rose. That's his 3rd goal of the game.
Yep, and you see just great ball movement here by Texas, getting those BYU Cougar deep holes, moving their feet as they're man down, and then just a great step-down shot over the defender, right past Hansen.
Boy, and that pulls the Longhorns within 3.
If they can just keep that momentum going, just keep BYU within reach. You know, it's a game of runs famously, and if they can just get on those runs, but it does start at the face-off X, Brad.
And Carson Binion once again picks up that ball, gives Cougars another opportunity for an offensive possession. So they sub in. That's number 32, Hunton Murphy. Murphy, Carter, and Stu playing both on the first and second midline of the Cougars. We've seen that kind of rotate throughout the game. Kirshner pushes down. Cougars being really patient on offense. Who I don't see out there, Tim. Oh, I like Quick back there playing X. Nice finish, Taylor.
You'll see Taylor here, just famous basketball move, just posting up in the middle. Kirshner able to find him. And then just kind of the no-look shot over the shoulder. Goalie wasn't expecting that one.
That's the 3rd score for Taylor. Pushes that lead back up to 4. Have to face off John Wallace. We've seen him on occasions out here. The Longhorns have opted to go with a long pole on a number of occasions. So he wins the face-off, trouble picking that ball up, and and all the mess right there. That's Koji Kano as he retains possession. Great face-off win for the Cougars. Great double by the Longhorns. Boy, they've pressuring him for the first 15 seconds of that possession. Got Kano, Murphy, Carter up on the midline. Boy, that's a nice, simple little shot from Murphy. Great ride by the Cougars. Here comes Taylor. Boy, they're pressing hard. Got a double on this guy. Great check by Quick. Quick trying to scoop that ball up. Gooses it back. Great play over to Murphy. Kirshner. Oh, knocked down by the Longhorns. Great opportunity. Skip pass knocked down. That's number 31, Cash Wiley, the senior out of Austin, Texas. Great play to break up that play. And once again, Taylor on the ride. Kirshner to pick up. Boy, and the fans love it here in Provo, Utah.
Decent crowd, really filled in. At the beginning, I was a little worried, to be honest with you. There were maybe 15, 20 people, but as school is let out and people found their way here after work, or maybe couldn't stand us on the live stream, they decided to come, to the game.
Might as well join the game live. Well, that's going to be it's a big hit on Taylor. Gavin, boy, he has been impressive. Not on just the offensive side of things, but his ride. First half action, the early part of this third quarter has just been fantastic. Murphy pushes the ball out. Over on the corner now to Carter. So he pushes that ball through X, and here comes Mason Quick. Dodges up that left side, turns, tries to shoot that ball. Not a bad shot. BYU's got back up.
Shot by Mason Quick. Cougar ball behind.
Murphy dodging from that X spot. They slide quickly, turns it over. Boys, Coach Schneck reviews this film. He's going to second guess whether or not that ball should have been passed upward. Nice ride by Mason Quick. Thought maybe he went outside, but
They were definitely offsides.
they were also
Yeah.
counted right. Pogo! Number 30, Mason Esplin out of Draper, Utah.
You'll see here just opportunistic. Esplin picking it up at the midfield. You knew the second he picked that up that he wanted that goal. Great shot by Esplin.
BYU goal number 30, Mason Epsilon. Epsilon with the goal. An assist.
Great finish by a long pole. Boy, as you mentioned earlier, I can't remember, it might have been pre-game. Boy, those pole goals, they're juice goals.
That's
And
right.
you heard it not only from the crowd, but from the BYU sideline.
Gotta love the pole goals. Having been a defender myself, I actually never scored one, but I did plenty in practice, and they are fun. Wasn't super common when I played, Brad, for poles to get upfield.
Boy, I love it, though, that it has become common. It's kind of helped bring that creativity into the game as Benyon picked up the faceoff, but just a great defensive effort by the Longhorns. They're going to have to push back, and simple little turnover there. That's Jack Wall, the sophomore, that threw that ball over Hansen's head, and here comes the Longhorns. Eigen bounces another off of a helmet. Longhorns have backup and retain possession.
Wall used to throwing it back to Wilkie. He's a little taller than Hansen.
He is a little taller than Hansen. Nico with the ball. He dodges, tries to get topside, pushes down the right side. Beautiful overhand shot. Just left that short. And that's going to be back up to Texas.
Yep, good look. Looked like it got caught in his stick a little bit. Bounced a little before the goal, more than he wanted so. But, yeah, great look there by Texas.
Really been impressed by the Texas offense. They've had a lot of great opportunities as they skip pass goes through. That is going to be kicked back over, but that'll be Cougar possession going out of bounds.
Yeah, I definitely think that Texas is deserving of their ranking. They might fall a little bit depending on the results of this weekend. And they've had just a ton of injuries, though. Luke Skinga, one of their best attackmen, actually played his freshman year at the University of Utah, so was looking forward to seeing him, but didn't make the trip due to injury. And then just a couple other guys that are banged up. Looking at the bench, they've got maybe 10, 15 guys down there, so a little light on the depth there. But, definitely still out here battling, not giving up. And, great check.
Great check. Quick loses it. Gets it back to the keep. Levine looking to clear this ball. Pushes it up here near side. That's Cash Wiley right into the stick of Jake Boatwright. Longhorns clear. Friedman not done finishing on that ride. So they look to set up on that far side. Jason O, the ball, gets it over here to near side to Jacob Van. Pushes that through X, as they've done often throughout the game. Eigen, great shot, great save by Isaac Hansen. I think that's Isaac's second save of the game, and BYU retains possession. So they look to clear it here near side. That's Marcus Ball. Pushes it up, climbs the ladder right up here. That's Charlie Friedman. Great clear by the Cougars.
Couple new faces there for the Cougars. Ball getting the ball. Great look.
Once again, Mr. Taylor. His fourth goal of the game.
A little bit of an unsettled situation here. Texas not getting into their defense. No help. Taylor recognizes it and just runs past his man.
Boy,
Dunks it home.
there wasn't a slide within 15 yards for the Longhorns.
It's that early offense, right? A lot of teams have started doing this. Not a ton are keen on it, but it's that time between the ball's been cleared, you're subbing guys on and off. It's kind of that awkward moment, right? And so Taylor doing a nice job just recognizing that Texas wasn't in their set and this guy had no help and taking advantage of it.
That's going to be another flag that's going to be hold on the Longhorns. And, Tim, it also helps having just an unbelievable attack line in Kirshner, Taylor, and Quick.
Yeah. I mean, those three are as good as it gets. Lots of experience, great players in high school, great players now at the college level. And it's just exciting to see them, kind of mesh together.
Texas looking like they're playing a little zone defense themselves. Nice save by Levine. And that's going to blow the whistle dead for this upcoming penalty. Be a good opportunity to see the man-up offense for the Cougars as they get set up. Looks like it's Hutton Murphy out there. Looks like Easton Carter's out here. Looks like Stu Vassau also be part of that man-up crew for the Cougars.
If I remember right, Kirchner's dad played for BYU. Friedman's dad played for BYU. Murphy's dad played for BYU. So it's a bunch of second-generation Cougars on this team. Pretty cool.
As they work that ball up, they set into their play, push it out on that rotation. Kirshner thought about it. Oh, they're looking for Carter. I've seen it a couple of times. They got Quick. That's the second or third time Mason Quick has lost that ball on his stick. That was a great feed, but just unfortunate for the Longhorns on what I call kind of a silly push.
Yep.
That'll reset the shot clock as this penalty is released. Nice little move by Mason Quick. He stepped in the crease. That's going back to Texas.
Good defensive stand there by Texas. That's exactly what they needed. Down 6 minutes left in the third. They got to start making some moves offensively if they want a shot at this one.
Cougars been riding pretty well today. They kind of do a midline ride where they set their attackman at the 50, work from the 50 and work up as they kind of climb the ladder here on the right side. Great defense again by Easton Carter. This ride has been great. Oh, fans not too happy. Thought maybe they'd bail Texas out.
You can't call the one down here on the crease and not call that one because they're pretty much the exact same.
Texas will retain possession. Up 13-7 over the 13th ranked Texas Longhorns. Rosen pushes back, kind of posting up, kicks it back over to the top side. That's Jason O looking to get a little more top side. Oh, nice handles by number 56. That's Jacob Van. Get a little more playing time here in the second half. Little shovel pass back, great defense. That's number 1, Taylor Crump, the senior out of American Fork.
Crump on a mission. He was not letting up, just double teaming anyone he could.
Boy, and those checks that he's laying, those aren't just simple little soft checks. Zander takes it down the alley, looks to set up from the corner. It's Marcus Ball defending him, his short stick midi. Great little almost swim move to get free. Great defense by number 44, Sawyer Beck out of Orem, Utah, right up the street. So that ball is BYU possession.
BYU closest to the ball, Cougar ball.
Great clear. Makes it look so simple, but boy, these teams, they practice that long pass, all the different scenarios on the clear. Hunt Murphy takes it up near the 35-yard line. Kicks it down to Carter. Cougars being patient. Hunter, great dodger from Olympus High School. Beautiful pass. Kind of a no-look pass to Carter. Just couldn't handle it. Quick for the backup, and the Cougars will reset with 37 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Oh, wow. Beautiful shot. Number 32. Have yourself a day, Murphy. That's his third goal of the game.
We'll see here on the replay. Just starts from X. Gets to goal line extended. A little bit of traffic and just a perfectly placed shot. That was going nowhere else but that top corner. Good shot by Murphy.
Yeah, you young lacrosse players at home, go back and hit rewind on that. Boy, that was just a beautiful overhand shot. Great placement. Extends that lead. 14-7 for the Cougars. Benyon back to face off. Another face off goes back to Hansen. Oh, nice knockdown. That's number 53, Cisco Carvajal. Cougars still retain possession. That's Crump on the far side. 2:29 remaining here. Third quarter action. See, Tim, if Coach goes a little deep into the bench here as we get into the fourth quarter. He's done that in the previous game. Get some of his players just some opportunities. Get a little bit of experience quick, dodging up. Oh, beautiful finish. Not going to be able to beat that. Another one from Mason Quick. His third of the night.
Similar to the goal by Murphy just before him, just starts from X. Gets to goal line extended. Gets his hands a little free there, about 5 yards out. Dunks it in.
Boy, just another excellent placement by the Cougars, and we're going to have a timeout on the field by the Texas Longhorns. Cougars up 15-7. 2 minutes remaining, third quarter action.
I think the cook over in the food truck is pretty lonely. Let's send some people over there to get him.
Welcome back into Provo, Utah. Yeah, BYU's men's lacrosse here on the KSL Sports Rewind. Thank you for joining us here on tonight's action. I'm Brad Searle. Join on the side of me here is Tim Haslam. And boy, it's been a really good third quarter for the BYU Cougars, knotting up 5 more tallies on the board.
That's right. They've actually scored 5 in each quarter, but defensively, they've held the Longhorns to just 1 here.
It's a great face-off win by Wallace. As the Cougars have kind of dominated in that field, especially off the face-off wins, maybe not face-off possessions. Skip pass over here on their side, in and out of the hands of Jake Boatwright. Boy, that's going to be another turnover. That's number 21, Hunter Holmes, a sophomore, pushing that ball up, gets it over to Dylan Johnson. Boy, Johnson has been fantastic here in tonight's contest. Got it! Johnson for his second goal. Nice reward for the short stick, Mitty D.
Johnson getting the ball there about midfield and then just doing it all himself. Late slide there by Texas, beats his man. Nice bounce shot, one-on-one. Those are the goals you dream of as a short stick defensive midi there.
You know, we were talking that first half. That's such a great reward for the defense. Whether we've had one long pole goal, but we've had a couple short stick midi goals by Johnson. Great payoff for the hard work on the defensive side, and that was an early. Texas had gone early. Officials said it was his fault, so they're going to redo this at the stripe with 1:27 remaining. You don't see that too often.
You don't see that too often, but like I said in the early part of the game, Cole Sloan, one of the best refs Utah has, definitely taking that one on himself. Other ref to his left is Mike Scow, longtime ref. He was actually a coach as well. He coached at Timpanogos, won a Division II title there a handful of years ago. And then the third official tonight, one of the Johnson twins. Can never get them straight. I've known them for years. Can never get them straight, especially when they're all they've got all their long sleeves and stuff. Can never.
Mike here on the near side.
Yep.
may or may not have thrown a couple of flags on myself throughout the career.
I wasn't there, but I'm not going to say you probably didn't deserve it.
I probably did deserve it, and he's really one of our better officials here in the state of Utah, as that flag's going to come flying for a slash. And that is number 11. That's Jason O down on the field, the junior out of Austin, Texas.
Coach Louie on the sideline for Texas just has his head in his hands going, man, we cannot afford another injury.
Talking to the trainer before the game, they did come in light.
Yeah.
Coming into Utah, and I thought that was a little interesting. They're going up against the number 1 and the number 2 teams in the MCLA right now. They've got a tough fight ahead as they've ran into the BYU Cougars here in Provo, Utah.
Yeah, and it's intentional. In the MCLA, you have to go out and you have to play a tough schedule. And the selection committee, when the tournament time comes, they look at who you've played. They look at how you did in your conference. And coming to Utah has always been a tough trip. It used to be you would play BYU and Utah when the Utah club team was a little better. But now it's it's BYU and UVU, because UVU is really on the rise, number 1 team in the country. And so it's a tough road trip. They got in yesterday. You're sitting around the hotel today. You're going to play tonight. You'll have the day off tomorrow to rest and recover. But then Saturday, they're going up against number 1 UVU up at Wasatch High School. So just a tough weekend.
And that'll be a great game against the Utah Valley Wolverines. Tim, you've covered the MCLA on Utah Lax Report for a number of years. You've watched the rise of these two teams. Might or might not have an article out on that. What's your thoughts here of Utah plays? Oh, beautiful shot from number 26. That's Curran Rose. That's Rose's 4th goal of the game.
Yeah, we'll just take a quick look here, a little bit of back and forth. BYU kind of caught look in there and just takes advantage. Great shot placement there by Rose, bouncing it past Hansen.
16-8 for the Cougars. But back to our MCLA and your experience. What's your thoughts of, the number 1 and number 2 teams here out of the state of Utah?
Yeah, I was, when I saw the rankings come out, it's interesting because the RMLC conference that both of those teams play in, the coaches actually picked BYU to be number 1. And then the actual coaches poll, preseason poll came out, and they had UVU as number 1. So, very interesting.
A little contested, maybe?
Yeah, and when I was writing the preview articles for both teams, I was literally going, these guys are the same. They have so many guys coming back. They both have.
Oh, great save. Sorry to interrupt, Tim. Great save by Levine off a shot of Mason Quick. Cougars under trouble. Oh, backhand shot. That'll get everybody going. Koji with the goal.
What a play that could have turned disaster into fortune, as you see BYU, just a desperation effort, sends it to the middle of the field. Koji snagging it out of the air and then backhanding it in. What a goal.
And that will do it for third quarter action here in Provo, Utah, as the Cougars extend their lead 17-8. We'll be back for fourth quarter action. Just another great look at the beautiful Wasatch Mountains. We're kind of nestled just to the west of it. And, Tim, we were talking about the conference. Continue your thoughts on, the great play out of the state of Utah.
Yeah, so you have the RMLC conference. Utah, it's changed over the years. It used to be heavily dominated by Colorado State, BYU. And then you kind of always just had Utah. Utah State has been in the RMLC Division I before. But then you really had the rise of UVU. They used to be UVSC back in the day.
That's the days.
Went to Division II championships as UVSC. Became a 4-year university. Has kind of gone through a bunch of different coaches. But, Brian Barnhill really built that program to where it's at today. And then obviously Colin Maxwell taking it over. And they've really become really, really, really good. Was at their first game against Utah Tech, who, again, Utah Tech didn't have a team 5-10 years ago, who are now in the RMLC D1, and so you get these teams from Utah, and it's really fun to see and to have a team 1 and 2. I looked back as far as I could and had patience for, and didn't ever see a time where Utah had the number 1 and number 2 team. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Boy, you can see it just in the depth on the rosters, both of the BYU Cougars and the UVU Also was at that first game. Boy, each of these teams have 50, 55 players deep. And as we've seen out here on the field, right, Isaac Hansen into the cage now for the Cougars. We saw a number of other kids, younger kids, getting some experience. As we look down on the BYU attack, that's number 29. That's Logan Tucker, the freshman out of Highland, Utah, getting some reps here in the fourth quarter action. I only see it going up and up in the great state of Utah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I mentioned, Utah Tech has a team, SUU has a team, Utah State's always had a team, but they're getting stronger. And it really provides a great place to play for our high school kids, right? We have a NCAA Division I, we have NCAA Division II, and then really, really strong MCLA teams.
Yeah, and that was for the Texas Longhorns. That's a nice pick up there over in the corners. He's pressured hard by both Kirshner. That looks like Charlie Friedman is Cougars retain possession. Ooh, hard slap check by number 31, Cash Wiley out of Austin, Texas. Cougars look to get their subs on. Friedman pushes it down over to Taylor. They kind of spin that rock on the first possession, sees what they're giving on offense. Friedman has a shorty. He pushes it down to X. Cougars being real patient on offense. Tucker pushes that up to Kirshner. Taylor, little face dodge. And that ball, that's going to be a crease violation. That's going to be no goal. That's going right back to the Longhorns, a much-needed turnover for the Longhorns.
It is, yeah. And at this point, just started the fourth quarter, down by 9. Brad, you're a coach. What are you telling your squad at this point?
Keep fighting. Keep fighting. We've got another game on Saturday, right? You're playing for Saturday's game, trying to, right here, great example of the ride, pushing that through the tough Cougar ride, just trying to get the experience. Great little skip pass over here to Eigen. Oh, comes in and out of hands. Oh, and he's hit hard at midfield. That's number 54, Jake Boatwright. He flags down as this contest has turned in to be real physical here in the first start of the fourth quarter. But that's what you want out of the Longhorns. A great fight. Keep fighting to the end. Over to Taylor. Little face dodge. Uncontested. Little twister. Missed it. Boy, a little check on the backside. No call, but we're going to have a penalty. Let's see if this is going to be just a push or this is going to be a 1-minute slash.
Yeah, to your point, tell them to keep fighting, keep improving, and, try to carry some of the momentum into the game against UVU on Saturday. It's going to be a tough test, right? UVU is really good. The game will be up at Wasatch High School, which is a beautiful place to have a lacrosse game. Super excited for that one. But, yeah, keep the momentum going. At the end of the day, Brad, I think it's don't get hurt.
Don't get hurt. And, we've seen a couple of guys go down. And, for the Longhorns, they didn't dress 14 players for this. And as you can see on the sideline, boy, just the difference in the amount of players that you have over on the BYU Cougars versus the Longhorns. But I've been impressed with the Texas fight so far in this game.
Absolutely. Great team playing in the LSA, the Lone Star Alliance. Definitely one of the favorites in that conference. They were playing TCU, like I mentioned, in the first quarter, and that game got postponed in the third quarter due to rain, and that was a close game against a conference opponent. So lots still to play for Texas this season, getting this early season matchup against number 1 and number 2. You can't say that often, going on the road playing number 1, number 2.
But we'll pay dividends when it comes down to tourney time. Great little cut. Nice save by Levine. Boy, he has been great here in the second half. A couple point-blank saves as he's under a lot of pressure. Cougars, full right attack, being a man up. Looks like we're even now. Got 8 seconds to clear this ball. This ball goes up and over. Great clear by the Longhorns. He thought about it. He thought about it. Love to see Cash Wiley pull the trigger on that. He had back up there on the backside. Longhorns could use a juice goal right now.
Absolutely. They could use whatever the lacrosse gods will give them. Being down 9 here.
Xander Rosen over into the corner to Eigen. It's a number change throughout the game. Great defense by the Cougars as they rotate the long pole out on him. Once again, Rosen has a great matchup with a shorty. That's number 11, Devin Nguyen, the senior out of Bingham High School. We'll see what that's going to be a crease and a push, I believe. We'll see if they count the goal for the Longhorns. It went really quiet here in the stadium.
It did.
Kind of different what it's been all night as the refs converse on what came first. We know the MCLA, they don't play with that bird's mouth. Is that something you'd like them to instill at this level?
I've never heard it called the bird's mouth.
The bird's
that what you
beak?
call
What
it?
do you call it?
I call it just the crease, like inside. You're talking about this, like
yeah,
the crease
circle,
inside.
Yeah, I've always known it as the bird's
The
mouth.
bird's mouth. I love that.
Kind of the beak, right?
Sure, yeah. It always looked like an ice cream cone to me.
That's exactly what it looks like.
I think it caused more confusion than was necessary, so I'm okay with him not playing with it.
Yeah. Okay. It's Coach Lou. He's getting an explanation. That score remains the same, and it's going to be somehow a dead ball penalty on number 39, hence BYU taking it out at midfield. 10:39 remaining here in fourth quarter. It'll be a personal foul. That's going to be a full-time serve locked up for the full minute. Cougars have their first team extra man unit out there on the field.
So if I understand it correctly, all this way up, he dove into the crease, wasn't pushed, and so dove straight at the goalie, which caused the penalty.
It made contact probably. If we looked at that on replay,
Yep.
He probably made contact with that goalie, hence the lock possession. Nice check. BYU fighting to retain position on this man up. And here on the near side, that's Easton Carter. He's had a great game out of Central Valley High School. Pushes that ball down to X. Quick. Pushes it up. Shot. Boy, that had some heat. Nice save by Levine. Nice rebound. That's Kate Kirshner with the goal. I have that second for Kate Kirshner.
Yep, just a great play here. Quick finding the open man up top, bringing the heat, like you said. Levine does well to stop it, but Kirshner getting the garbage goal, picking up that trash in front of the net, dunking it home.
Pushes that lead up to 10. So we see a few substitutions over on the BYU Cougars sideline into attack is Dallin Johnson, the junior out of Skyview High School, way north of us. Also number 29 back in the game, that's Logan Tucker, the freshman out of Highland, Utah. Another possession on offense for the Cougars. Kirshner sets up. Would imagine Cougars are going to pass this ball around a little bit. That time is still being served in the penalty box as it's now released. Cougar with backup. So go into their full six-man rotation.
We talked about what you would do if you were coaching Texas. What's your plan here if you're BYU?
One, I would start subbing. I'd get everybody into the game. Experience is just so crucial, especially being able to develop that depth for the long haul, especially when you get down into tournament play.
Definitely. Start seeing some of those guys putting in the long practice hours, get them out on the field, stretch the legs a little bit.
Eigen here on the corner. He's got 2 goals in the game. He cuts top side. He had just a fantastic, deep, old-school bounce shot for one of his goals. Will make somebody highlight reel. Eigen back. Guarding him is number 25, Andrew Hunt, the sophomore out of Park City, Utah. He's used to this cold weather. Nice little low rip. Not a bad shot. Texas has got backup. That's number 53 that'll start at X. That's Cisco Carvajal, freshman out of Spring Branch, Texas. Kind of a no-look, using the defender as a screenshot there here on the near side. Isaac Hansen still in the cage. As that ball shot over, and boy, back up to the BYU Cougars, and here come the Cougars.
BYU's done a really good job this game of getting those backups. I think that's probably their third or fourth win back.
Brent Barker turns that ball up. It's this ball up for the taking. Little scrum out at midfield. Nice little ground ball by Barker, the senior out of California. .7:55 remaining here. Fourth quarter action. Goalie comes out. Levine's out of his cage. Levine's been real impressive throughout the game. Boy, he has been peppered all night long.
He is. He had 18 saves, like I mentioned, against Boston College, coming into this game at about 60%. Great piece to this Texas defense.
Well, another save by Levine. So we've got a flag down. That's going to be a push with possession. Excuse me, that's going to be an interference call on the Longhorns. Will give the Cougars another opportunity on man up. And you mentioned, Coach, or Tim, 7:25 remaining. My philosophy's always been, and boy, there's no right or no wrong. Early in the season, you're still keeping your first team in. Just allow them to get the reps at this extra man opportunity.
Yeah, and in fact, there may not be many teams in the country at any level who have a second man up, right? And so, yeah, you'll see the first team man uppers out there.
So they push that ball down to X. That's Carter. Back up to Murphy. And it's been at times like that, a little sloppy for the Cougars early in the season as Taylor takes a nice lefty rip.
For sure. We've seen a lot of great things out of BYU today. Definitely not a perfect game by any means. A lot to build on. And you clean up some of these things. You tweak a little offensive set here or there, and, by midseason you're humming right along.
Back up by Taylor. Pushes that up. Once again, quick. Nice save. Once again, Levine. Boy, he's been fantastic here in the fourth quarter. I'd love to know his save count for the game. So they push that up. Nice defense there by Stu. Longhorns still going to retain possession. Been pressed all game long with the defensive ride by the Cougars. Longhorns pushes it through X, and we're going to have a timeout by Texas. 6:29 remaining, 10-point lead for the Cougars. We'll be right back here on the KSL Sports Rewind. Brad Searle along the side, Tim Haslam. Tim, we were just talking, through the break, right? This has been a great matchup for both teams tonight.
Absolutely. Texas comes in here, like we've talked about, tough road trip. Pretty easy travel, coming from Texas, but getting in last night, hanging out at the hotel today, doing some schoolwork, then getting ready for this 4 o'clock game. 4 o'clock, I think, is a perfect time, right? It's a great time to have a lacrosse game. It's not too late, not too early, obviously. But yeah, just been a great matchup for Texas. They can see their weaknesses. They're getting guys some really great experience. They're dealing with some injuries here and there at a bunch of different positions. Getting these guys experience against a great BYU team. For BYU, it's been a great matchup too. Texas no slouch. Definitely have some weapons like Egan there. And just a great opportunity for them to get better as well. And these games are important. They're important for national seeding, and when it comes selection time, that gives these cross conferences references to go on.
Nice save by there, Isaac Hansen. And here comes the Cougars. I'm hoping this is a back-to-back or a home-to-home. Oh, nice shot. Imagine that. Mr. Taylor having himself a Knight.
BYU goal number
See here, just a great transition play here by BYU. Coming down the field, draws the defense. Great ball movement. Taylor with the great placement, going far pipe as he's swinging across the field. Makes it tough for Levine to move his body to the other side of the net.
And that's the 5th goal for the senior attack out of American Fork High School. Gavin Taylor. He's earned himself a little break on the sidelines. Still out there with 5:50 here in the 4th quarter. Nice face-off win by the Cougars, right to the rack. That's number 45, Jordan Knighton, the freshman out of Freeport, Maine. Everybody's getting on the board for the Cougars.
We've talked about it. You gotta love it when a face-off guy gets a goal. Freshman, probably his first goal of his college career, Brad. I'm gonna guess that's why everyone's so excited for him.
Boy, you saw him come off the field, just pure enthusiasm and excitement.
What a moment.
But once again, we talked about this. Like, this is a great opportunity for both teams, not just for the Cougars, but to get some of your other players that maybe wouldn't normally get some reps in, just to get them some experience, just to help build that depth on both of the sidelines.
Knighton ran off the field after his goal, and they said, "No, get back out there. Where are you going?"
Do it again. Out on the field is Beck Roberts, the freshman out of Huntington Beach, California for the Cougars. Number 28, first time tonight calling Gage Fittman, the freshman, another one coming out of Olympus High School, as they've had a number of great players. Olympus has up there with Coach Nick for a number of years. Been one of those teams that you always found in the top 4 at the end of the season in tournament action.
Yep, Fittman, a great player in high school. Like you mentioned, for the Titans.
Another save by Levine. Nice clear. That's number 18, Owen Thomas, the freshman out of Florida. I think for Coach Lou, I think there's some great things that he's going to see on film after this game. It has been a little sloppy here and there, and they've missed some opportunities on some shots. But, boy, Texas, they're going to look at this game, and nice save right there by Isaac Hansen as we have a flag down. But I think Coach Louis, in the end, is going to be happy with tonight's performance by the Texas Longhorns.
With all the things that they're going through at this moment, injuries, the passing of a teammate, tricky travel situations, they've played really well considering all those things, right? It's never easy to come to a different state. They're basically coming, I'm assuming Austin's at sea level. Don't know that for sure, but
I would imagine it's a little colder here than in Texas.
More or less sea level.
Might be a little chilly.
Yep. So you're dealing with altitude, you're dealing with weather that you probably haven't felt in a bit. Just a lot going on, and that's why you take these trips, though, Brad. You're taking these trips to get your team hardened, right? Resilient, used to the different elements. There's a lot of teams in the MCLA who never leave their own state.
Yeah,
right?
And I think for Coach Schneck, this is the 2nd or 3rd penalty for offside, something that the Cougars probably need to clean up, but expected, right? Early in the season is the extra man opportunities out there for Texas. Oh, he had someone right on the doorstep, threw it in the middle. Boy, 2 pulls. Ooh, nice handle for Hansen as he pushes that ball up right into the hands of Jack Wall, the sophomore, still in the game. See, that ball's pushed up. Cade Kirshner, he drops it, and looks like Cougars going to reset. His coach is calling for him to slow it down.
Yep, slow it down, get those freshmen that we've talked about on the field.
Oh, beautiful low hand shot. That's Beck Roberts, the freshman out of Huntington Beach, California. Boy, it has been by committee here tonight with the Cougars.
Yep, and just a great play like we talked about. You get these freshmen on the field. Coach Neck saying to hold it up, but they've got the ball in their stick. They're gamers. They want to go to the goal.
BYU goal number 26, Beck Roberts on assist.
3:30 left. Left here in the 4th quarter action. Some of these freshmen on both sides have been impressive. And we're going to have a timeout by the Cougars. Schneck's probably going to make some substitutions substitutions and changes here during this timeout. We'll step aside as well here on the KSL Sports Rewind. In fourth quarter action here at Provo High School. So we're back to the face-off, 3:30 remaining here in fourth quarter action. Oh, big hit. That's going to cause another penalty. Boy, Ethan Bryan, the senior out of Las Vegas, Nevada, he got rocked at midline, and we've got a second penalty down. That's probably going to be a little trash talking over on the far side.
All three refs threw their flag on that hit.
Well,
You don't see that very often.
You don't see that very often, but that's one of those ones, boy, it was just so easy. Cross-check, it was high, and it leveled the kid, right? We love seeing the big hits, but we want to keep our players safe out there as that shot's missed on the far side, and we'll get the call from our officials. I thought officials have done a great job tonight in tonight's contest. I think both teams have played respectful and clean and love the fight, to be honest with you, that Texas continues to have with 2:50 remaining here in fourth quarter action, being down by so many.
That's right. Again, game's out of hand, right? This one's not coming back. But can you carry some momentum into Saturday, right? Can you carry some momentum into the rest of your season? You know, building on these building blocks that you're getting here tonight. Looks like two guys.
That's a severe penalty. It's going to be a 2-minute hit to the head. It's going to be full-time served. There'll be a second penalty. That'll be a slash. There'll be a 1 minute. So Texas is going to be down for 2 here on the extra man opportunity for the Cougars.
And this is a tricky situation, right? You're up by 13. Got 2:50 left. You're up by 2 men. What do you do as a coach?
I burn it. But most coaches aren't like me. And we're at different level. And so you expect your guys, whoever's out on that field, to play as hard as they can. Another beautiful save from Levine, and a second one. Got a player pushed into the crease. Boy, Levine has been fantastic in all 4 quarters of action tonight. Boy, he has been a difference maker for the Longhorns.
Absolutely. Been just incredible today, especially in the fourth quarter. So you see Texas pressing out,
I love
2
it.
men down.
Kind of in a diamond formation. I love the fight.
You got nothing to lose, and then you get an illegal screen. Wow.
Levine to clear. Goal line extended. Here comes the BYU ride. Boy, and they're going to be 2 men up here on this ride. This might be one of those huck it up the field and let your attackman go to work. Beautiful pass. Just couldn't handle it. Eigen picks it up. Back to BYU.
You got to be careful here. Can't have too many over.
Oh! Give that man a half a point for the effort. Great shot from midfield. Quick action, Kirshner puts that ball back up for the Cougars. But it's been kind of one of those nights for the Longhorns. Great pass. Just couldn't handle it. Fast break for the Cougars.
Absolutely. First penalty released, so BYU still a man up.
So they go into their house set. On defense, they push that ball. Nice knockdown on that skip pass. That's number 1. That's Luke Fournier, the junior out of Austin, Texas. Here comes the Longhorns out over on the far side. That's Nolan Duffy getting some action. The freshman from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We talk about the Cougars with players all over the country. You look down on the roster of the Longhorns, and boy, you see them matching player to player throughout the country.
Yeah, Levine from Connecticut. I spoke with a friend out there earlier today. I said, hey, what can you tell me about him? He said he was the backup goalie in high school for Loyola's All-American goalie. So he goes, if he played at any other school, he would have started all 4 years.
Wow.
But, didn't get a ton of recognition just because he was stuck behind another great goalie. And then, Texas is a great academic school. And so you're going to have kids who are interested to go there.
Oh, another beautiful save by Isaac Hansen. Not a bad shot from Eigen. Cougars push up. Upfield. That's Sawyer Beck at Orem, Utah. His helmet gets knocked off and a little words, and as they try to maintain and keep the peace out there at midfield. Only 25 seconds remaining in the game. It'll be Texas possession on the far side. This is where I would just call the dogs off, right?
I think so.
Let the time tick and each team move on. So they push that up. They're mid-court. Eigen, little S dodge, little punch shot, misses it. He's got back up. 12 seconds remaining. Boy, it's been a beautiful day for lacrosse in the state of Utah. Another beautiful save. Boy, Isaac Hansen been fantastic this second half. As they look to put some big hits. BYU, as time ticks, and that will do it. Cougars 21, Texas 8. Boy, great game for Gavin Taylor, 5 goals on the Cougar side, and for the Texas Longhorns, boy, that's been Kean Levine. He was fantastic in cage. Your thoughts on the game tonight, Tim?
Again, Texas coming in with a little bit of heavy hearts for their fallen teammate, dealing with injuries, traveling to a foreign state, dealing with the cold and altitude. So about what I expected from Texas. Maybe would have liked to see a little bit more on offense, but they did the best they could considering the circumstances. For BYU, another game, right? It's exactly what you want if you're Coach Schneck. Another big game in the books as they look to host Nevada here in a couple weeks. Texas heading to UVU on Saturday. Doesn't get any easier.
And that will do it for us here in Provo, Utah. Thank you for joining us here on the KSL Sports Rewind and our broadcast of BYU men's lacrosse. For Brad Searle, for Tim Haslam, Vince Francis on the camera. Thank you